ربك عليم حكيم لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبنا لفي ضلال مبين وقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخلق وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأولين والآخرين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. All praises belong to Allah. We praise Him. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon the noblest of mankind, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and the companions. May Allah Azza wa Jalla extend the blessings to each and every one of us. May Allah make these sessions beneficial to us in this world and the hereafter. May Allah grant us beneficial knowledge. We are still in Surah Yusuf, Quran chapter 12. Where did we stop? Verse 18. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, now.
قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون.
Let's read together. Verse 18 again. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب. They brought his shirt stained with false blood. They brought the clothes of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, stained with false blood. قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا. When their father examined the clothes, he knew they were lying. سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا. Certainly, your own selves have made up a tale for you. Yourself has, designed this evil in you. Wallah fasabrun jameel. What is most fitting for me is patience. Wallahu al-musta'anu ala ma tasifun. Allah's help is sought against what you have described. I seek Allah's help against what you have described. This sorrow you have brought me today. This agony, this pain you have brought me today. It is only Allah I can seek His help. It is only Allah whose help I can seek against it. We have explained this last week. We explained it last week. But we have 3 more things to take from this. When the Prophet Yaqub's children brought this thing, this bad news to him, this bad news, he knew they were lying. But what could they do? An old man. What do you think he could do? Now see what he did, what he said. It's a reality of life and faith that your soul can design evil for you. We talked about this last week, about how many stages of soul, stages of our soul. 3. The first, or types. The first one is an-nafsu al-ammara, the soul that is inclined to evil, soul that always incites you to do something bad. This is the first. It may be your own too. It may be that the kind of soul you have, you always think about something bad to do, bad thoughts, which leads to bad words and leads to bad deeds. And nafsul ammara to the soul. It encourages you to do something bad. The second one is an-nafsu al-lawwama, self-reproaching soul. Soul that reproaches itself. Whenever you do something bad, you feel bad. Whenever you are doing something righteous, you are happy, you are getting closer to Allah. Whenever you are unable to do certain things you have to do, you feel bad. You always evaluate yourself. On your own, you blame yourself, you reproach yourself, you evaluate yourself with a view to becoming better. That one is also a good soul. It's a good soul, apart from al-ammara soul. Then the third is an-nafsu al-mutma'inna. This is a comfortable soul, satisfied soul, a soul that is full of faith and iman. The soul that thinks about something good always, good thoughts, which lead to good works and leads to good deeds. That's the human triad. The human triad. When you have good thoughts, good words, good deeds, you are a perfect person. Your thoughts are good. Your words are good. Your deeds will be good. Then you are perfect and complete. You have a nafsu al-mutma'inna. So this man told them, "قَدْ سَوَّلَتْ لَكُمْ أَنفُسُكُمْ أَمْرًا." Your soul has incited evil in you, encouraged you to do what? To scheme of this evil. That is, nafsul ammara bisu has overwhelmed you and gained control over you. It was the one Shaitan actually used as his instrument to make you do this dastardly act you have done and this sorrow you have brought to me. Pay attention to your soul. Your soul. Always watch. What do you think about? What do you like doing? How much love of Allah do you have in your heart? You always think about good things? Do you have bad thoughts? Or you keep malice, envy, anger, arrogance, bad things in your mind? Watch your mind. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. He has prospered. مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Whoever purifies his heart. وَقَدْ خَابَ. He has failed. مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Whoever corrupts his soul or allows his soul to be corrupted. Surah Shams, Quran 91, verse 9. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. He has prospered. What is Surah? Talenina man zakaha. Whoever purifies his heart. And to perform man, no corruption, no envy, no malice, no greed, no tyranny, no arrogance, no stubbornness, no ignorance. Qad aflaha, he has prospered. Wa qad khaba, he will fail. He will ruin himself or herself. Who? Man dassaha. Whoever corrupts his heart, whoever dirties his heart, whoever soils his heart by not purifying it from these bad traces. Qad sawwalat lakum anfusukum. Now the man said two things. Fasabrun. Patience is most fitting for me. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, As-sabru, yeah. Patience is light. When you are patient, you'll be guided. You'll be guided. Assuming when you heard this news, you got up and it began to beat them, you will just compound the problem. These people could do this much, they could do what is worse. As creating a batting dagger, you magic suru your mali pony. A batting dagger, you magic suru your commercial game. Comale pony, or my dinner might be no be until Kekela Mele. Kekeba lion mele. A batting dagger, when you are getting older, you should be getting wiser. You should be getting more tolerant of things. And you should be more open to events of life. Life has different things to bring to your way. Tolerance. We expect every eventualities of life. How do we approach them? The first thing you should always hold is sabr. Suru. If you are not careful, you will cause yourself. If you are not careful, you become violent, do something bad. If you are not careful, you may ruin your happiness. If you are not careful, you may lose a good relationship. Àwọn ọmọ ẹni tó wá lè ṣe ó wá lè lówó pa àwọn àbúrò sàbùn fún wọn torí pé kò rí kan nù wọn má. Láà, ó máa ní sùúrù náà ni. Fasaburun jami is most fitting. Suru. But when you remember the reward in it, and that is a sign of maturity, you'll be encouraged to be patient. You find circumstances in life, from life itself, from people that you will feel like, no, but when you remember sabr, and the patience. And you remember, who do you want to be like? Not you want to be alone. Emulate them. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. Allahul musta'an alama. We seek Allah's help against what you are saying. Allahul musta'an. The Prophet used to say it so much. Allahul musta'an. I seek Allah's help. I seek Allah's help. And Allah will show you His help. إِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ وَإِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا. Táwọn èèyàn bá parọ́ mẹ́ ẹ̀dẹ̀ wá parọ́ mi báyìí. Or you heard something about people, so they have said this about me. I'm innocent of this. Before you begin to even do things to clarify the matter, first say, Wallahu al-musta'anu ala ma. If people have brought you with bad news, first say, Wallahu al-musta'anu ala ma tasifun. If you are faced with something that you don't even know what to do, just call on Allah. Wallahu al-musta'anu ala ma tasifun. The next verse.
قال يا بشرى هذا غلام وأسرته بضاعة والله عليم بما يعملون.
Let's read together. Verse 19. وجاءت سيارة فأرسلوا واردهم فأدلى دلوه قال يا بشرى هذا غلام وأسروا بضاعة والله عليم بما يعمل. وجاءت سيارة. There came a caravan. And then by Sayyaratu means a group of travelers. Ja'at Sayyaratu, a group of travelers came. فَأَرْسَلُوا وَارِدَهُمْ. They sent their water drawer. They camped near where this incident took place. So they camped there, they sent out one of them to go and scout for water in the desert. So he let down his buckets into the well. Bucket of your mommy. Also, he let it down into the well, where they had thrown Yusuf. He said, what's good news? Here is a boy. When he let down the bucket, he discovered that this is more than water. It is heavy. What could this be? He saw a human being who was dragging it up, picking it up, until Yusuf was brought out. That is how they discovered him. Do you know what happened? Here is a boy. What does that mean? He thought they were lucky to have found a boy. Maybe he was running away. That is why he fell into this well or something. Now there is a boy who is suitable to be sold as a slave. Because the convention of the world then was people were divided into two: the freeborn and the slaves. And the status of the slave was different from the status of humans, freeborn. So when he saw him, what came to him, his mind was, they were going to sell him as a slave. وَأَسَرُّوا بِضَاعَةٍ. So they hid him as a merchandise, as a slave. Who did that? According to Imam Ibn Kathir, rahimahullah, He mentioned some of the Salaf who said that وَأَصَرُّوا بِضَاعَةٍ. Those who hid him as merchandise were the brothers of Yusuf. They were somewhere hiding. They wanted to see what would be the fate of Yusuf. They were waiting for any caravan to come around to pick him up so that they can sell him into as a slave. Allahu alayhi ma ya'malu. Allah said he knew everything they were doing. He could have prevented Yusuf from being sold into slavery, but Allah allowed it because there is wisdom in everything Allah does. The next verse. Let's do it together. وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَةٍ وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ السَّاهِدِينَ. وَشَرَوْهُ, they sold him بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ, with an insignificant price. His brothers sold one of them into slavery. Look at the extent of their anger for him and envy and malice. When he was brought out from the well, they quickly rushed out to these travelers. They told them, it's our slave who had absconded. He had absconded. Now, here you are. They now sold him to him. Oh, dear, need your organ. The famine in Bachs. Come on. Into your battle, like someone who was stolen a phone. Maybe iPhone, iPhone 13 to 1. So maybe iPhone 13. You know, if someone has stolen it, he can sell it for 100,000 naira. Abi, Torojini. Oh, Nima year. Like those people who waste money when they are doing events, parties. You see how they be trolling money like this. Dollars like this. You will not have toiled to hand money and you now be spending it carelessly. No. They sold him his permanent bucks, insignificant price. Just few dirhams. According to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he said they sold him for 20 dirhams. Each of them took two dirhams because they were 10. They shared 20 dirhams. What that? You don't know the future of someone, a human being, like a couple who was arrested recently in one of the southwestern states here. The neighbors discovered that there was smell coming from a nearby river, a stream. This is extremely bad. What could have been the source? They invited their valet. So in the end, they discovered that a couple inside their room, they had killed someone. Who was the person they killed? The wife had lured a friend to their house. Already, she had invited her friend to come and visit her in their house. She put something in the drink she presented to her. She drank it, she slept off. She became unconscious, slept off immediately. It was then this woman, with the help of her husband, they chopped off her head, her arms, you know, they put them in the buckets. When they were about to be discovered, they entered their house. What is smelling here? The man said it was a babalawo. It was frogs. Frogs. It was the smell of frogs. A frog is more than frog. Open this. Please don't open it. Open it. What does it have here? A bucket covered. They opened it. They discover human parts of body. Parts of body. They found it there. So they had to confess. So it was discovered that was not the first time they will be killing the person. That was the second person they will be killed. The first person he said she killed her and sold the head at Ibadan for 70,000 naira. بثمن بخس دراهم معدودة. 70,000 naira for human body. Killing a human being. Killing a human being. Shedding an innocent, the blood of an innocent person. When you have killing like this, killing of innocent life, there is no way you will enjoy staying in that place. There won't be security, there won't be peace. This is not the only example. There are many, almost every week, every day. People killing, ritual killing, killing for money, killing for so many things. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. دراهم معدودة. وكانوا فيه من الزائدين. They regarded him insignificant. Yusuf will check Allah Akbar. Learn from here. If people maltreat you, they disrespect you, but you know they don't know your worth, forget about this. Humble yourself. Allah knows your worth, and you too, you know who you are. That they maltreat you, that they disrespect you, they don't give you your worth, does not mean that they can diminish your worth. It's because that is their own worth. You want your money here, and you can't expect anyone to give what he doesn't have. Be yourself. Be yourself. You don't need to tell me, hey, mamini, emi, one or two bank, that can come out. That can come out. They can't do more than that. You can't give what you don't have. This is what Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Look at how he was treated. Sold into slavery. Someone who was meant to become a prophet of Allah. He became a prophet of Allah in future. So all these things he suffered when he was young did not affect him in any way. Be patient. Be passing through some challenging times. Now, be patient. You don't know what the future holds for you. Don't, just because you don't have today does not mean that you should ridicule yourself and be begging from here and there, or be doing things that are unsavory, things that are not good. You don't know what the future holds for you. Just be hopeful, be prayerful, and be helpful. The future will be yours. Be prayerful, be prayerful, be helpful, be hopeful, and work hard. The future will be bright for you. Forget what people say about you, how they treat you. You know yourself, and let Allah know you better. Allah knows you better. Allah definitely knows you. So this is how he was treated. But does that change who Yusuf was? Never. Never. Be alive. Whatever you are, don't let how people see you, feel you, how they rate you, don't let that diminish you or to make you lose your self-esteem. It doesn't change you. Just make sure you work towards prosperity and success, as tuned in success, and be righteous always. وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّائِدِينَ. The next verse. Let's read together. Verse 20, verse 21. وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته أكرمي مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض ولنعلمه من تأويل الأحاديث والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته, and the man from Egypt who bought him. Misra here is Egypt. So the man who bought him was from Egypt. The man who eventually bought him, because they used to sell slaves. As you have markets where you can buy cars, you can buy so many things. If you need slaves, you can go to the markets. You can go to the market, slave market. You go there and pick whichever you like. You want to be using them for intimacy. You look for them for work on your farmland or things like that. You will find. So the man who bought Yusuf, was from Egypt. He now said something, and this is very interesting. Limra'atihi, he told his wife, Akrimi mathwa, make his stay comfortable. Allah. Akrimi mathwa, make his stay comfortable. Asa an yanfa'ana, he may profit us. He may be of help to us. Aw nattakhidahu walada, or we shall adopt him as a son. We shall adopt him as a son. وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah said, this is how we established. This is how we established Yusuf in the land, in that land. وَلِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. And so that we might teach him the interpretation of events, of dreams. Look at the purpose. Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. Allah has full power and control over his affairs. He has full power and control over his affairs. No, on tati bi kadara kan bo sinu kadara mi. Ene ko le yi kadara re pada. Wallahu ghalibun ala amri walakin akthara an-nas la ya'lamun. But most people do not know. Allah has control over his affairs and power, but most people don't know. We have so many things here. One, let's be positive about others. This man who bought Yusuf was positive about him. He never knew him for anywhere. He might be a slave, we have bought him. Definitely we are going to use him for house chores and many things. But he was positive about him. He told his wife, please, Allahu Akbar. Treat another person's child like yours. He may be a house help. He may be a housemaid. He may be whatever. He has come to work with you, or he has come to work with you. He's a human being. The way you treat your house helps, your housemates, can you treat your children like that? You expose them to unsavory conditions. You make them work until 12 a.m. 1 a.m. and they wake up at 4. People say, Akrimi mathwa, make it stay comfortable. Asa an yanfa'na, he may be of help to us. Onilaria rola. Amarun so ma ya lola. Ewa won't Yusuf ya. Allah helped this family through this man, through Yusuf. Because they had been nice to him. If they hadn't been nice to him, he may not recognize them later in life. Everybody deserves to be respected. Everybody deserves to be respected. Somebody said, let strangers you meet, they are friends you have never met. Your strangers, they are friends you have never met. Oh, lady, you come out good food, come for doing a hand. Look down on people. Oh, Maria, be positive about people. Asa an yanfa'ana. This was the mother of the wife of Pharaoh, Asiya. This is exactly what she said about Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. When Prophet Musa was carried as a babe, said to Pharaoh, please don't kill this boy. Asa an yanfa'ana aw nattakhidahu walada. He might be of help to us. We can even adopt him as a child since we don't have any son. And look at how Prophet Musa blessed, Allah blessed the family through Prophet Musa, especially this woman. Because Pharaoh said, no, it may be a blessing to you, but not for him. He was pessimistic about Prophet Musa, and this pessimism fell on him. Optimism is very good. Let's be optimistic. Let's be optimistic. Let's be hopeful. Let's be positive. Let's be polite. Be polite. Be positive. Be accommodating. Be friendly. No, be wise. You need to be very careful. Somebody came to my office some time ago. He said, yes, I don't know if he even got into my office. So he said he has come to collect the letters sent to him. And which letter? Sent to him by the governor by the president of Ghana. I said, President of Ghana. Yes, he sent a letter to him through you now. I said, which letter? Yeah. Say, are you his brother? President, yes, his brother. Which letter? When we were talking, Giasis lower. Yes, Giasis lower. The whole cause. When okay, let's go outside to sort it out. I don't know what our security. I want hand relay. I want hand. So you see, we don't even know. So people have different, different behavior, different. They are cut out for different things today. So you need to be very careful. But generally, your principle should be to be positive. We should be polite. We should be optimistic. May Allah increase us in knowledge and guidance. Akrimi matwa. Let's stay be comfortable. Asa ayyan fa'ana. It might be helpful to us. I want to start. We can even adopt him as a son. They didn't have any child then, or they didn't have male children. Let's adopt him to be a son. Allah says, وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا Yusuf. This is how we establish Yusuf. When you lose an opportunity, don't feel bad. Allah might have opened another one for you. Don't say, I lose this. I lost this. You cannot lose your life because you lose your job. Don't lose your life because you lose your relationship. You may find something better. Yusuf lost his family, they cared, everything, but look at what Allah said about him. Allah has given him another family here because he was sincere and righteous. We established him in another land. Why? We want him to acquire some knowledge about life, experience, because of what the assignments we want to give him in future. You may not know Allah is preparing you for something in the future. That is why you are passing through those challenges. Be careful, be patient, be hopeful. The future will be bright with Allah. Let's stop here. It's time for Salat. سبحانك اللهم ربنا بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.